Welcome. Michael Wickerson here. I just wanted to say that I'm working on a project with Reparameterize to bring my earliest scripts, 2.5 years old when I first opened Rhino and Grasshopper, to kind of revisiting them and showing people where my mind was when I started learning this software. You can see here, one of the first 10 scripts that I wrote for myself after watching some tutorials was this kind of sense of being able to explode a geometry. What's nice about that is that as an exercise, you can actually deal with multiple geometries, so you can have, learn a little bit about lists and what's actually possible. Hopefully this doesn't crash out when I put it through a polar array like that with a secondary item. I normally should have unplugged this one. Let's just see what happens. But basically, it's like I'm going to be broadcasting on Fridays at 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, which will be about 12:30 in Cairo. And I'll do that every week for about an hour and see where our scripts end up going. Believe me, I'm just stalling out here. Let me get this thing running again. There we go. So you can see that there's this kind of exploded geometry, something I have as a parametric model now that I can slide through again, and it moves a little slower because of the complexity of this, but I have multiple list items, which I didn't understand at the time, but being able to build these wonderful explodable forms. And then also, I can go on and download any and internalize any geometry I want, anywhere, from any source as a step file or STL or OBJ. And let's plug this one in and override it here and say I'm basically dealing with a very tiny, well, we don't know what it is until we unexplode it. So we bring that back to the center as an object. You can see that I actually started with something that was a little screw that I brought in. It has a little funkiness off the start, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So I'm able to grab an animation and throw this through like a quick little animation. This thing's kind of obliterating off into its different directions. So this is an example of the script I'm going to explore tomorrow morning. There are a little fudging out that I want to resolve. It's a slow-moving solid intersection, and it's how I thought about Grasshopper when I started. I'm gonna revisit about 10 scripts of why I maybe made them. I hope you'll find it interesting. I hope you'll tune in to Reparameterize. It's a private site. You can apply to go to it on, and this will be the beginning of my live recording sessions, which I think are much more exciting than making these static videos that I put online, hope people look at, support me on Patreon, I put on Reddit. Going live now is going to be the real answer. And hopefully the group will grow, and I can take people from very basic Grasshopper skill sets and show you a kind of creative way that I came at it, to think of it as a medium to be playful and kind of put things together. So we'll leave this little screw kind of shattered, and it's of course using 3D geometry, Voronoi patterns, which everybody ends up doing. And I'm using a little bit of a MD slider, and then I'm generating these really nice fragments that blow out along all these different vectors. And it's a very tedious, kind of ignorant coding way or computational way of working to just have all these objects functioning. But I do think anybody static modeling in Rhino might want to move to a parametric control and then find the need for more geometric. And nestling this one into a GH node or C# node is, of course, a little more difficult. But you can see that done by Jose Luis Garcia, who does an incredible explodable tool in very simple nodes. Right now, we're kind of caught in between them. So I hope you enjoy it. A 4-minute taster of what we're going to get into tomorrow morning. And like I said, they're not going to be recorded, so tune in live and see what happens. Thanks for watching.